Back in 1956, this book came out and, wow, did it stir things up. It's called The Third Eye, and it's supposedly the autobiography of a Tibetan Lama named Lobsang Rampa. It's an absolutely incredible story, just filled with esoteric training and mystical arts. But hidden deep inside its pages is a secret. A discovery so big, it claims to hold the key to a whole forgotten chapter of human history. Okay, let's dive into this. So this story takes us right into the heart of Tibet, to a place most of us have never seen. And it makes you wonder, right? What if the world's greatest secrets aren't buried in some desert or lost at sea? What if they're hidden deep in the rock, right underneath the Potala Palace itself? According to Rampa's telling of it, what he and a few other high lamas found down there wasn't treasure or some ancient scrolls. Nope, it was something way more shocking. It was actual physical proof of a past that is so different from our own, it basically challenges everything we think we know about who we are and where we came from. So what in the world do they find? The book talks about this final initiation, a journey into a hidden world that starts way, way below the city of Lhasa. So come on, let's follow the path he lays out for us. Picture this, Rampa's being led by abbots holding these little butter lamps, and they're descending through secret passages cut right out of solid rock. They go past all the known tunnels of the Potala into a place that hasn't seen daylight for who knows how many centuries. He says the air itself felt ancient, heavy with the smell of old incense and spices. And as their flickering lamplight starts to push back the darkness, these huge golden figures just emerge from the gloom. Statues of gods and demons so immense that their heads are just lost in the shadows way up high. These were the silent guardians of this underground world, and they were marking the path to an even bigger secret. Then, right in the center of this massive cavern veined with gold, they came across a building unlike anything you can imagine. It was a house, but it was made of a material that looked like polished black ebony, and it was covered in all these strange symbols and diagrams. And inside that mysterious building, that's where the final revelation was waiting. Inside that house, the abbot shows him the secret: 3 massive open coffins, all made of black stone. And lying inside were these perfectly preserved figures covered in gold leaf. 2 men, 1 woman. But here's the thing, they were giants. The woman was over 10 feet tall, and the biggest man more than 15 feet. The abbot makes it clear these aren't statues. They're the actual bodies of beings from a lost age, saying, "Look upon these. They were gods in our land in the days before the mountains came." Okay, so you've got to be wondering, who is this guy who claims he saw all this? To really get the discovery, we kind of have to understand the witness. The book doesn't paint Lobsang Rampa as just some ordinary person. No, he was someone supposedly prepared for an extraordinary destiny from the moment he was born. According to the book, Rampa's whole life was just one long preparation. Yeah, he was born into privilege, but his childhood was also incredibly harsh. His training was designed to stamp out any weakness, getting him ready for a path that was apparently chosen by prophecy. He was meant to become a living vessel for ancient knowledge to preserve it during a dark time predicted for Tibet. Now, the absolute key to this preparation was a mystical, and let's be honest, pretty shocking surgical procedure. An operation designed to awaken a sense we've all forgotten, to literally open his third eye and give him the power of clairvoyance. The book describes this operation as this really precise, almost ritualistic process. After a hole was carefully drilled right into his forehead, and get this, no anesthetic, a specially treated sliver of wood was inserted. This was supposed to stimulate a psychic center that's dormant in most of us. Then he had to spend weeks in the dark learning how to master a completely new sense. So why go through all of that? Well, the whole point of this intense procedure was to give Rampa the ability to see what others can't, the human aura. He claimed it was this colored halo of energy that reveals what a person is really thinking and feeling. It was this heightened perception that supposedly made him the chosen one to witness the secrets hidden beneath the Potala. But just seeing the bodies of these ancient gods wasn't enough. That was only part of his initiation. He also had to understand where they came from. And the final piece of that puzzle didn't come from exploring. It came from a vision, an astral journey into Earth's forgotten violent past. Through this vision, Rampa claimed to have seen a completely different Earth, a world where giants walked through a warm seaside land that would one day be called Tibet. Then, bam! A cataclysm. A rogue planet collides with ours, knocking it into a new orbit and setting off disasters all over the globe. And in all that chaos, the Tibetan plateau was violently shoved thousands of feet into the air, preserving the remains of that old world and its giant people deep, deep below. So look, if you take what the book says at face value, the implications are just staggering. It presents a version of our past that completely clashes with everything conventional science and history tell us. This story basically throws a huge wrench into the history we all learn in school. Instead of a slow, gradual line of progress, the third eye suggests that history might be a cycle where these amazing civilizations get wiped out by cosmic events, leaving behind only myths and, well, according to the book, a few very well-hidden bodies. So whether you see the third eye as a true story, a work of fiction, or maybe something in between, the tale it tells taps into a really powerful idea, that our world might be older and a whole lot more mysterious than we know. And it leaves us with a question that kind of echoes up from those hidden caverns. If a history this profound could be lost and kept secret, what else is out there, just waiting for the right eyes to see it?